Alright, I'm bored. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, so don't expect a lot of information in this video. I'm just bored, and I'm waiting on a load. So I delivered to Budweiser, to a Budweiser distributor. I don't remember what the name of this place is. Bear something distributor, not beer distributor, but bear, as in like, the animal. Bear distribution or something. So it's all USA Truck here. So I think that we're winning this contract. Those two trucks came in after me. I just finished getting unloaded. There was a Prime truck here before me. So I finished getting unloaded and I pulled around and parked over here. Now, on the reviews for this place, they said that it takes forever to get unloaded and like all kinds of other crap. And they said that it's a pain in the butt to park here because, it's just, there's not enough room to dock. It's just me and this one trailer right here in these spots. So you can straight back this. This is like one of the easiest docks to park in. Maybe if this side over here were completely full of trucks, then maybe it might be a little difficult to park here. No, it wouldn't. It would still be really easy. You could still pretty much straight back this if you had a good setup. In order for this to be a tough place to dock, there would have to be trucks parked in front of me, where I'm at right now. There would have to be more trucks like lined up, parked up here. So maybe this place used to be like really, really busy. They did bad scheduling and they just had too many trucks here in the yard, and that caused some issues. But no, this place is really easy to back into. They have this damn secure gate and private property no trespassing signs all over the place. It was a pain to get into this place. The gate, I just basically had to sit and wait for somebody that was leaving before I could come in. And I got in here at 7 a.m. I had an 11 a.m. appointment, and they just told me to pull into Dock 3. I handed them my paperwork. They didn't check my appointment or anything. They just told me to pull into Dock 3. So it looks like it's a first come first serve place, which is why I checked to see if I could make my delivery at 7 a.m. Also, I was parked in the roadway, so I had to move anyway. I don't know if another tractor trailer would have been able to drive past me. So I woke up at 7 a.m. because that's when I suspected they opened. And I think they actually opened an hour before that, maybe 5 or 6 a.m. or something. But I managed to get in here, and they docked me right away, which was pretty sweet. I just chatted it up with one of the drivers over there, the one in the truck to the left. Poor guy has been out on the road for 44 days without any home time. And he said his biggest check that he's had with USA Truck has been $500. I feel sorry for him. That is terrible. But I think based on my conversation with him, he's not managing his hours of service very well. He doesn't understand the hours of service. And sitting here getting unloaded, he was setting an on duty. He pretty much sets either an on duty or drive all the time, unless he's taking a 10, is what it sounds like. But he's doing almost no miles, and his driver manager, he said that his driver manager is constantly contacting him, trying to find out if he's going to be on time. So it sounds like he's having issues making appointments and stuff. I'm going to see if I'm going to set it up over here. The sun isn't shining directly in, so it shouldn't overheat like it did last time. But I'm just sitting around waiting on a load. My 10, I'm 18 minutes over my 10 right now. I want to be rolling. I'm a little salty right now. I've already done my Departed. So, like, all of the notifications for my driver manager should let them know that I'm ready for a load right now. So I'm sure they're looking for me a load, or my driver manager is busy doing something else. I don't like micromanaging the driver managers. I don't like pestering them. So unless I feel I absolutely have to, I'm not going to be sending messages or calling like, give me a load. I haven't had to do that with this driver manager, and I'm not going to start unless I absolutely have to. Because I don't know if this driver manager would do it, but I've had other dispatchers that, like, if you get under their skin, they'll just give you a crap load. They'll be like, "Oh, you want to call and bother me while I've got 9 people waiting on hold?" And they get really busy, and they might just give you a spiteful little load just to get rid of you. So I'm not going to do that. I want a good load. Yeah, I was just chatting it up with that guy, and he was telling me what all companies he's been with. He's been with CRST and K&B or KB. I forget if it's K&B or KB. And Covenant. So this is like the 4th company he's worked for. I think he said he's been driving a little over a year. The 2 drivers over there chatting it up right now. The one who just got here not too long ago is over there. He walked up to the door of the other guy and is chatting it up with him. Yeah, he's Robert is his name. He's got one of the newer trucks. He's got a 2019. He said that his first truck had issues with the 5th wheel latch releasing, which my trainer's truck, he had a 2019 Kenworth, and we had a lot of issues with the latch releasing. I've only had it like mess up on me one time, and I had to sit there for probably 10 minutes pulling forward and backward, trying to jar the thing loose to get it to release. These are all air release 5th wheels, the Kingpin release. So you just do it from the cab. Let me show you. You just flip up this knob, this little thing right here, and you hold up on that, and there's a countdown that'll happen on here. It'll say 3, 2, 1, and then you'll hear a hissing sound, which is the air, and then you should hear like a metal clanking sound, which is the 5th wheel actually releasing. And then you can drop your air suspension, which is this button right here, and then you can easily just pull out from underneath it, unless you're like my trainer and you only like take the landing gear halfway down, and even with the airbags released, it still drops, the trailer still drops onto the frame of the truck and jars the hell out of you. And I don't know why in the hell he does that. It was bad. I think it was bad. He was trained wrong, and he's just never been told different. I so badly wanted to, like, it's really hard. He's a million-mile safe driver. My old trainer was. And somebody that has 15 years of experience and they're like a million-mile safe driver, it's really hard to tell them they've been doing something wrong for 15 years. So I just didn't do it. There were a couple of things we butted heads on, but most of the stuff I didn't want to correct him on. But what he should do is, like, I don't know who told him to do it that way, but that's not the right way to do it. He should go and read the manuals from some of these trailer vendors like Great Dane. Go check out their manual,
And what it says to do is to put the landing gear all the way to the ground and then turn it a little bit more until you hear a little bit of weight being relieved from the tractor. So all the way to the ground and then turn it like one more time. Now I know that there are people that'll, once they get it all the way to the ground, then they'll crank it like 6 or 7 more times. You shouldn't do that. You also shouldn't leave it an inch or two off the ground. You're supposed to take it all the way to the ground and then turn it like one more turn or a half a turn. According to the manufacturer of the trailer. That's the way it's supposed to be done. And you're least likely to damage the trailer by dropping it, and you're least likely to damage your truck. You're least likely to damage everything. And the trailer should be fairly level, which a lot of drivers have probably never loaded or unloaded one of these trucks. I worked for an LTL. I've loaded and unloaded these trucks. I've driven forklifts into the trailers. And if a landing gear is dropped low, it's a scary experience to go into that trailer with a forklift when it's slanted downward. It feels like the trailer's going to tip forward on you. And a lot of times when you see the trailers jacked up really high, I suspect that it is from forklift drivers asking the yard dog to raise the landing gear on trailers that were dropped too low. And the yard dog just comes out there and raises the hell out of it. So that's what the yard dogs do to trailers at Georgia Pacific all the time. Because we would get there and they'd be jacked up like 8 inches high. And my trainer would be all pissed off. He's like, I know this son of a bitch who does this, and motherfucker. I'm like, I don't think it's a driver, man. I think it's a yard dog pissed off because you're dropping them so damn low. Anyway, I'm just BSing because I'm waiting for a damn load. I can't believe that I'm just sitting here just wasting day. I would go to a truck stop right now and get a shower, and I wouldn't be wasting day. I would just PC to a truck stop and take a damn shower. But there aren't any truck stops for like 50 or 60 miles from Pensacola. There may be a mom and pop truck stop here, but I looked at the Loves app, I looked at the Pilot Flying J app, and I looked at the Truck Smart app for TA Petro. And there's not any of the major chains that I have shower credits at, which I don't have any shower credits at TA Petro. I rarely, I think I've fueled up at a TA or a Petro once or twice. Maybe 2, maybe 3 times. I can only remember like once. But it might have been as many as 3 times. I mainly fill up at Loves or fuel at Loves. But here recently I've been mainly fueling at Pilot and Flying J. I'm only like 140 gallons away from getting the unlimited showers at Flying J. I think you have to have 1,000 gallons, and I'm at like 860 something gallons. So if they have me fuel, it'll probably be 2 more fuel stops because they don't let me get very low on fuel. So it'll probably be, I would need 2 more fuel stops at Pilot Flying J. To be able to get the shower power there, whatever it's called. I slept real good here because this is like back behind a residential area, and it's on a private drive, and there's no trespassing signs everywhere. There was like no noise at all back here, no traffic, no nothing. So I think one of the reasons I'm waking up all the time at night is just like a jarring noise, like somebody honking their horn or somebody setting their air brakes or somebody slamming a door next to me or, sliding their tandems, some jarring noise. That might be why I'm, waking up constantly throughout the night. It's hot up here. I'm going to get back in the back where, I got my little fan
This fan runs on regular power. This particular one I don't like. I have a ton of this brand and this kind of fan. There's another model that I have that I really, really, really like, and I have several of those in my house. I thought this was the exact same one, but it's a slightly smaller version. It's still good, but not as good as the ones I have in my house. Let me take my shoes off. I just loaded this is empty. I just loaded the cooler. That's where I keep my trash. The ones that are full, so that whenever I fuel up, I can just grab them right there and toss them. Let's lay down here where we got the fans going. Yeah, what I found is that to keep it cold back here, because the APU air conditioner doesn't work incredibly well. What I found that I need to do to keep it cool back here, let me turn this off and back on to get the satellite to sync up, because I may throw the TV back on. To keep it cool back here, what I found I need to do in the summer here, since we're hitting like 90, 100 degree temperatures, I have to close the blinds that block off the very front up there, and I have to close off the sleeper area. If I do both of those, then it can get it very cold back here, even in 100 degree weather. But with everything open the way it is right now, it can barely maintain like a tolerable temperature of like 75 degrees or 70 degrees. Now back here where the air is blowing directly on me, it feels nice and cool. But up there in the seats, it's kind of warm. So somebody just rolled in here. It's a local guy with a lift gate. Looks like he knows what he's doing. He's just slamming it into dock 1, which I don't know if he's supposed to be doing that, but he's a local guy with the lift gate, so he's probably just going to throw a couple pallets on and tear ass out of here. I hope that they don't run me off, because I don't know where I would go if they asked me to leave. There's like I said, there's no truck stops or anything in Pensacola. There may be a mom and pop. If they asked me to leave, I would say, all right, would you give me like 5 or 10 minutes to try to find a place? I will try to explain to them that I couldn't find a truck stop in town to go to, so if you'll give me a couple minutes, let me try to find a place on the map that I can go to from here, and hopefully they'll give me like 15 minutes to search for a place. But if they don't kick me out of here, I'm just going to wait here. Out of Pensacola, I suspect, Robert, the guy I was talking to, while I was talking to him, he got a call from his driver manager checking to make sure he made it here to his delivery appointment on time. And she had him another load that she just pre-planned him with. And it was picking up 17 miles away from here in Cantonment or something like that, Florida. And it was going like 170 miles to somewhere in Alabama. So it was a short little run. I hope that I don't get something like that. I don't know how in the hell they're going to get me home. Because it's Friday. I'm supposed to be home on Sunday. And the thing is that you don't get loads on the weekend. So unless they get me a load pretty much going to Oklahoma City or to Tulsa, I don't know how in the hell they're going to get me home time. And I think Monday is Memorial Day. I'm not 100% on that, but my driver manager sent out a message a day or two ago asking about just a second. And I'm back. He was a lease driver that was just checking to see if I was waiting. He didn't want to cut in line in front of me. He was going to pull into that dock door, and he just wanted to check and make sure that I wasn't waiting in line before he cut in front of me. So he said he's very familiar with this place, because I was starting to tell him like how long it took to get unloaded and stuff. He's like, oh no, I know about this place. And I
I think he pretty much just runs in Florida. He said he just runs between Tallahassee and some other places. So he's a lease driver. He's probably running on the load board so he can pick his own load. So he just does local in Florida basically. But it was nice of him to check and make sure that I wasn't waiting on the door. Apparently we got this damn contract. So there's nothing but USA Truck delivering beer to this place. So that's number 4 here. Four USA Trucks at this place. I've talked with the 2 of the other drivers. There's only 1 driver here that I haven't talked with. If it wasn't so damn hot, I would go and pester that lease driver and ask to look at the load board and stuff like that. But man, just getting out and chatting with him for a second or two, I started sweating my ass off. I need to get a shower. So, what the hell was I saying before I got out there? I can't remember. But I'm just rambling because I'm bored, waiting on a load. I'm tempted to shut the blinds and stuff so I can get it nice and cold in here. But I'm like, I don't want to. I shouldn't be here that long. I should get a load any minute. So let me think of, I think I was I was thinking out loud about how they're going to get me home. They're going to I think it's going to have to be a minimum of 2 loads to get me home. The likelihood that they're going to be able to find something going to Oklahoma City or to Tulsa from here is unlikely. So what I suspect is going to happen is they're going to have me grab something, whatever they can, and have me take it to the West Memphis terminal and drop it off. So I'm probably going to relay a load to West Memphis, and then they'll have me a load going from West Memphis to Tulsa, and I'll probably just deadhead from Tulsa to the house. And my driver manager sent out a message asking, is anybody planning on working on Memorial Day? Well, this is a veteran-owned company, so I suspect that almost everybody's going to take Memorial Day off. But I replied to the message and I said, I'll work any day if there are loads. I don't want to be out on, and that's all I said. And the driver manager replied with gotcha. So I don't want to just be out on the road for the sake of being out on the road. If there's not going to be any freight on Monday, because all the office people are taking the day off, and I'm just going to sit waiting and there's not going to be any loads, then I would rather sit at home. But if it's if they're gonna have freight, then I don't really do holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, none of that stuff really matters to me. If traffic's slow, on Thanksgiving Day, there's probably very little traffic on the road. The build up to the holidays and then after the holidays, traffic is bad, but during the holidays, traffic is usually really light. I would prefer to be out driving on those days. But yeah, I think they're probably going to find whatever they can to get me to a terminal, relay the load, and then get me something toward the house. I have never had a load, since I've been with USA Truck, I've never had a load that delivered in Oklahoma City. So I don't know if there's really a big market for loads going into Oklahoma City.
I'm sure, I mean, Oklahoma City is a big city. There's got to be loads going in there. It's just that USA Truck apparently does not have those contracts to do those loads. They might get something off of the load board. And I've been watching some videos with like Make Sense and a couple other people. And they said that the freight market is picking back up. Like the number of loads are really high. I think I mentioned that in my last video. I'm not familiar with the load volumes and what's normal, what's not, and stuff like that. But Make Sense said that the volumes are the highest he's seen in a long time, dating back all the way to previous to 2019. 2019 was kind of a slow year, which is, I'm really surprised I haven't heard more about trucking bankruptcies, because we had a lot of trucking companies go bankrupt in 2019 because it was a slow year. It wasn't like a really, really bad year. It was just a little below normal. But we had a boom year, 2018, before that. And I suspect that these companies probably got into really bad financial situations because, you know, they were making so much money in 2018. And then things went back to normal and a little below normal in 2019, and it drove them out of business. And then we had 2020 happen. So 2019 was a lot of bankruptcies, normal to slow year freight-wise. And 2020 has been an abysmal year. And I haven't heard nearly as much about bankruptcies this year as I heard last year. I heard more about trucking bankruptcies last year than I have this year. So maybe, you know, the herd was already thinned last year, and we have some good, healthy companies that are making it through now. Or maybe they're just not talking about all the bankruptcies. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But if volumes are kicking back up, then trucking companies are going to start hiring like crazy again. They'll start begging drivers to work for them so they can get a piece of that pie. Like, some people are speculating that this could be a huge boom, like a surge. Like whenever the economy like kicks back on, it's going to be crazy. Like it's going to be a huge spike in the economy. Other people think that the economy's slowly going to trickle back. Other people think that we'll get a slight surge and then a trickle. I don't know what exactly is going to happen. But if it does surge, then trucking companies are going to be paying ridiculous bonuses. They're going to be increasing wages. Everybody's going to want to get a piece of that pie. So everyone that's thinned their fleets out right now is going to be trying to bring on more trucks. Like truck sales are going to go through the roof. Truck leasing is going to go through the roof. Everybody's going to try to be increasing the size of their fleets and hiring as many drivers as possible to get as much of that money as they can if the freight market starts surging and freight rates start getting high again. And then if, you know, those people that said that it's going to surge and then go back down and then trickle, if they're right, then those companies are going to be screwed. So we'll see. From what I've seen, there are a lot of companies in this industry that are very short-term focused. And those are the ones that are probably constantly going out of business. As soon as the freight rates go up, they're spending every penny they can to increase the size of their fleet. And then when it goes down, they're selling everything off and firing everybody and filing for bankruptcy. It's just, who knows? What's going on over here? Yeah. So, I hope I get a load pretty soon. I'm really curious as to what kind of load I'm going to get. And when I get the load, I'm going to have to trip plan and Like, it's not just going to be, you know, I get the load and hit the door running. And, oh, by the way, I think I mentioned in the last video that I think this is probably an extra lease trailer. I didn't get a good look at the side of the trailer whenever I was doing my pre-trip to read everything on the side of the trailer, but it says USA Truck on the front, back, and some places on the side, I think. But it says extra lease in big letters on both sides of the trailer. So yeah, it's definitely an extra lease trailer that I have. So I don't know if I have any troubles with this trailer. I don't know what's going to happen as far as the shop. I don't know if I take it to the shop like a normal trailer. I'm just going to take it to the shop like a normal trailer, and maybe they'll tell me, no, we can't do that with lease trailers, or no, we have to take them to a special place, or whatever. I don't know how the lease is set up on these trailers. But I think that's a long enough of a video. I'm just sitting here waiting. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.